Chapter 10. It starts off by telling us about the infinite improbability drive.
Yeah, it's just like giving some explanations of like
Yeah.
how the improbability theory works, I guess. And it says it's like finite improbability was understood for a long time and was used as like a party trick, but like infinite
the new
probability
stuff.
was the thing they needed to crack.
Yeah, and the way of making a finite improbability is hooking the logic circuit of a Bambleweenie 57 to a brown Aryan motion producer, like a hot cup of tea, and then that's how you make a finite improbability drive. And then it's just more of another short chapter where it goes over how it happened.
Right.
It said it was just found by a student who was left to sweep up the lab, who was just thinking about the infinite improbability drive.
Right. It was like it. I like the part where it was saying a lot of members of the scientific community don't like the use of like the finite probability drive as a party trick or whatever. But it's also because they don't get invited to those sorts of parties. And ultimately, the infinite improbability drive was determined to be virtually impossible, which I think like virtually impossible is just a way of saying improbable.
Yeah.
Highly improbable, which is sort of the whole thing.
Yeah. So it was working out exactly how improbable an infinite improbability drive is. And because there's a probability of it existing, if you can work it out, it must exist, or will exist, or something like that.
Right, yeah, it was like you put the probability of it existing into the finite probability drive or something, and it spontaneously creates one out of nothing.
Like the chance of survival compared to someone's phone number. Don't know how that plays into anything at all.
And then the guy who figured it out was lynched by angry physicists, like you do.
Yeah, because they don't like a smart ass. Yeah. It's like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy chapter without it being a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right. Like, I think the whole setup with, like, the encyclopedia type feel of, like, the Hitchhiker's Guide, I think that makes these, like, short informational chapters feel a lot more natural in this book.
Yeah, and I guess it's sometimes in, like, sci-fi stuff, they'll try to explain how something works through dialogue, but that comes off as like unnatural. But in a book, you can just set aside a chapter to explain something, and it like be natural to read through. It's another thing, a good thing, it just shows again Douglas Adams being very good at writing.
Yeah, because so sometimes you can get away with Ford explaining something to Arthur because Arthur doesn't know a lot of things.
Yeah, and it's like,
but it's like something with too much information. And even still, like, I like that I mean, this is partially because it's like more of like a comedic sci-fi, but I like that it doesn't go too much into detail because I find that gets kind of silly with like some really invested like Star Trek fans or Star Wars fans where they like have the plans to the Death Star and they're like they can tell you what each books, like vent does, and I'm
because you can get these thick books but it does like
but like
a cross section of an X-Wing. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's not like I wouldn't study it and be like, why didn't just throw a grenade in the avion barrel?
Right, it is cool, but it's also, with science fiction, you reach a certain point where this is fictional science. You know, if there were diagrams and like formulas for everything to where like it was scientifically accurate, then we would just have a real X-Wing we could fly around. You know, I think part of the point is that it's even if it's not complete like fantasy, at least it's like speculative about like what science will be like years from now. But I wouldn't expect the science fiction writer to be able to write down.
Yeah, I like science fiction. Most things they have like a sense of realism until just they have one big thing in their universe which can't be done.
That's true. Like sometimes it all makes sense except for the one.
Like, we haven't found this mystical magic element from Gloopalzorp that gives us infinite energy. Like in the Marvel movies, I think most of it's we don't have a metal like vibranium.
Yeah, I mean not that you know about.
Oh yeah, well.
But yeah, I think it's a good way of exposition that feels natural because of the way the guide has been set up.
Yeah, the way the book's been written already.
And it's like, because it's set to be like this mass encyclopedia,
yeah,
Wikipedia kind of overview of everything.
Yeah.
It's not giving like too much detail, which I think is actually
Yeah.
a strength, because it'll sometimes, some of the articles, it's like it'll tell you like a funny story or something about something related to the thing,
Yeah.
rather than just like
Yeah.
like here's schematics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Till next time.
Yeah. Yeah. See you in a bit, or whichever order you decide to listen to these in.
I hope someone's not listening to them out of order.